Well, if it isn't Cameraman once again, I figured I'd give you a quick call to set the parameters on a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Series I'm considering. So, first and foremost, you would consider yourself a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh!, am I right?
I guess.
So how much money do you think you would be willing to spend per week in order to eventually have the shot at a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck?
Nothing.
What?
$0. Yeah,
Wait,
nothing.
What do you mean? No, but maybe $30 a week, and after a couple of months you get to...
$30 a week? Bro, I'm not spending $30 on a piece of paper that I can't use.
Well, you could use them in remote duels.
Bro, I'm not going to turn on my camera and have you remote duel you over Discord. No way, bro. That's kind of cringe. Gotta be honest with you.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a fantastic game. What started as a grudge match between Yugi and Kaiba has ballooned into an enormous and diverse community of tens of thousands. But the pandemic has complicated things. The community is still there, but with all organized play events currently on hiatus and no end in sight to COVID, it can be hard for new players to jump in, and for veterans to reach their full potential. But in-person play isn't the only way to enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh! A few years ago, Konami released Duel Links, a mobile and now PC game which has of late become their most profitable product. It's a way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! With some rule changes against other people on a ranked ladder. Even in times of isolation, you can duel real players, win real tournaments, and make it to a real-world championship event all through the application. That said, among everyone I've ever spoken to, there's a single thing preventing them from diving into Duel Links. Money. Money's tight. And in an age where unemployment is historically high, it can be hard to justify spending cash on a gacha game instead of on necessities. But where some see an impediment, I see an opportunity. By planning our routes in advance, focusing on a single strategy, and playing to the best of our ability, I'm confident we can go from a new account to the King of Games, the ladder's highest rung, in the length of one ranked season. This is Link Climb. Okay, before we get started, a bit of background. My name's Joseph Rothschild, no relation, also known as MBT. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Casually throughout my childhood, and then competitively beginning in 2015. I've qualified to 4 national tournaments, topped multiple regionals, and most importantly of all, won a game with Flying Fortress Skyfire. I've also spent a lot of time playing Duel Links, and while I'm nowhere near as good as I am in real life, I do know my way around the virtual world. That said, I don't expect this to be easy. What we're going to accomplish in this prologue episode is setting the ground rules and optimizing our route. 1. We're going to start a fresh account from scratch. This means any duelists or cards you can only obtain through limited time events are off the table. 2. I'm only going to play Duel Links for 3 hours maximum a day. Of course, it'd be trivial to grind all week, leveling up and getting gems in the background, and sure, we've all got a lot more free time ever since the pandemic started, but Yu-Gi-Oh! Being your entire life should be a hell reserved for Yugi-tubers. And 3, obviously, I'm not going to spend 1 single cent on the game. Unfortunately, this means anything we could get from structure decks is right out as well, no matter how powerful it might be. Firstly, we're going to need to level up. Getting to a high stage within the game's single-player mode will be critical to maximizing our gem output and the level of our characters. I expect we'll spend the first week getting our characters to an acceptable condition. Secondly, we'll need to snag a skill. Many of the top decks in Duel Links are only playable because of a secret ability each character has. We'll need to be careful with our selection. Skills that were only available for a limited time, can only be found by random drops, or are on event characters, are right out. Thirdly, we'll need to build a deck. It's no secret that Duel Links decks are hard to build. Their monetization model makes it very difficult to build a deck for cheap, especially if you're unwilling to spend real money on structures. This is where you come in. I've selected 3 decks I think could each make King of Games. It'll be up to you to decide which one of these we're going to play. Our first option is Witchcrafter. Witchcrafter is a control deck with a lot going for it. It's currently a top-tier deck, and winning matches would be a cinch. However, there are 2 massive problems with this strategy. Firstly, games are long. There's no guarantee we could even make it to King of Games on time. Secondly, the cards are hard to find. While the deck is contained entirely within a single box, we'd have to go through it more than once, which would take a long time to grind. One of their archetypal power cards, Witchcrafter Jenny, is also an event exclusive, and I doubt it'll be back anytime soon. In short, we'd be playing a much worse build of a cog-worthy deck, and most of our time would be spent grinding. Our second option is Lunalight. Lunalight is a combo-heavy OTK deck. It's also contained in a single box, though we'd only have to go through it a time and a half. There are downsides to this strategy as well. Firstly, it's very difficult. We might not even be good at playing it by the time we have to make a legend push. Secondly, it's only okay. While it's very capable of making King of Games, it won't be the leisurely stroll Witchcrafter would be. In short, Lunalight is a fantastic midpoint deck, strong but not overpowered, and expensive but not a back-breaking grind. Our third option is Superheavy Samurai. Superheavy Samurai is another combo-heavy OTK deck, but it's got some clear advantages over our other choices. Like all the decks, it's contained in a single box, though we could build a halfway decent version by going through it a single time. Less grind, more games. It's also easier than Lunalight insofar as the combos are extremely linear. There's only one serious downside to the deck: it's not very good. In fact, it's been an entire month since the last recorded King of Games with this build was logged on Duel Link's meta. In short, Superheavy Samurai is cheap, so the climb could start early, but it's clearly the least powerful of the three. With that in mind, let me know in the comments below which of the three you think we should choose. Next time, we'll be creating our account and beginning our climb.